You hear of success stories, but you tend not to hear about success stories in this modern age, although there are plenty of success stories in the insect world. Many insects and invertebrates are benefiting through changes to our climate. This butterfly, however, has benefited from a different source. Benefited from the hands of man, of all things. One of the things or aspects of looking for this beetle is the accompanying sound. The sound of the woodlark. Now, something quite interesting here, because there are two in this hole. One was sat at the entrance and then another one basically charged in. There's one. I'm presuming they're both Reibiensis, and there's the second with the other one just flying nearby. And the second one has retreated back down into the burrow. Tucked away deep in the heart of Wellow Park, or Wellow Wood, depending on your persuasion, there's lots of coppiced hazel, and if you look on the right, stems of coppiced hazel, you may well find something like this. You also might find something else similar to this. To me, it's amazing to think that all of the webbing here on Peafield Lane has been created by caterpillars that are now little more than 15 millimeters in size. Many are smaller. Remarkable thing is, once they've finished eating all the available spindle leaves on where they are, that web spreads as they search for food, and so for the first time I can remember, they've even gone onto the grass, and so now the webbing is even touching the road here. Something of a test today for me as much as you, but there is something in the picture. It's a leaf mine, a small leaf mine, but finding it is rather like looking for the proverbial needle in a haystack. However, it is there and tucked away in a little green island. Just look at this for an absolute beauty. This is a privet moth, of course. It's about to go, but this is very much a success story in Nottinghamshire in the last 20 years. At one time it really was a gross rarity, but then it started to spread in and started to occur in the southeast of the county, and over the years, each year that range extended a little bit further north and a little bit further west, and eventually it reached us in the Mansfield and Market Warsop areas. Fabulous success story from our largest moth. What an absolute beauty. Sometimes you don't get the impression of a moth's size until you see it like this on someone's hand, and now she's decided to stop and show herself in all her glory. I thought she was warming up to go up and off, but I'm glad that she hasn't. What a thing. We were being buzzed by the local bumblebees. I say there are lots of bumblebees nectaring at this Phacelia all across the field, not just in this sheltered lower section, but there are butterflies too. There's at least a couple of small torch-shells as I've walked down the edge here. There's large whites, small white, green veined white. Nice places to come and just have a wander and see what turns up. It is an absolute joy to walk through this place. I do love it. You've probably already gathered that because I don't show up about liking this place. But on a day like this, it's the lighting. It's not so much looking for invertebrates, which I am doing today. It's just one of those places that you experience. You experience it more than others. Some of you might relate to that. Presumably, it's because it is such a favourite place of mine. But I think you can probably see why. Just look at that. And it is a male. It might not look like it. But let me show you from another angle. This is just stunning. Absolutely stunning. What a privilege this whole experience has been. And people wonder why I rear caterpillars. Just on my way to somewhere that I've been several times this year. It's time to take apart the hornet's nest. Hopefully it's still intact. This tree's intact. It's had some of the top branches removed, but it's still probably the most magnificent beech tree I've ever seen, and resplendent in its new coat of autumn finery. It's fabulous. We really are blessed to have such trees and such beautiful autumn colours. Harlequins are attracted this time of year to light surfaces. Just watch how many come and land on me and then start walking. But I've never seen anything like it. And it's only just started. It's been very pleasant for the hour or so that I've been here. But then all of a sudden, there are just, I wouldn't say swarms, but hundreds and hundreds of ladybirds. Voila! Voila! Well, what about this then? Your picture is actually in colour. It's not black and white. It's just that we've had a nice covering of snow for once, and very unusually in this modern day and age. Good 4 to 5 inches of snow where I live at home, and that is about 10 miles away from Eakring here, where I've come just on the off chance that there may be some migration. We're not talking red admirals, by the way. The clouds are going a beautiful rosy red. Dawn is a fabulous time. It's a shame it's so early in the morning though. The head end is to the right, of course, and you can maybe able to make out where the antenna is. The curved edge to that right hand side of the pupa is where the proboscis is going to be housed. You may also be able to make out a light brown eye developing on the outside of that part of the pupa. There's almost a little black crescent, and it always looks as though the pupa is sleeping to me. That's better now. We've lost the sun. I know the fact that it's a mass of 8-legged invertebrates many people won't like, but these are quite stunning. I have a thing for orchids. At one time of day I didn't think that the UK had any orchids in it at all, but then I became much the wiser and more knowledgeable and discovered that we do. We have a really good range of orchids in the UK. Nottinghamshire is not the best sited county in the UK for orchids, but we have our fair share, including this one, which is the first of our orchids to flower, and it's the early purple orchid. Here's an excellent example of camouflage. This Tetragnatha species, it's probably Montana, but it's perfectly adapted to lie along a branch or twig like this and give itself away by shuffling and changing position. Very pleasantly surprised to see this female here. She's actually tucked in a bit of bramble, but glowing nicely. There's no male in attendance, at least that I can see. I don't want to put the light on if I can help it, but a nice female with a full set of glowing plates and the 2 anal plates too. There are probably around 50 larvae in here, so there are a few that have been out feeding and are heading back to the larval web. So the larval web is used for resting and protection. They go right into the larval web, and especially if it's wet they will retreat into that web where they are effectively waterproofed. But when they want to feed, they come out, and usually one particular branch is chosen or favoured for a length of time until all the leaves on that branch have been eaten. And then the larvae retreat back to the safety of the larval web. I've checked and rechecked with a couple of identification keys, and this has all the criteria, as I mentioned, to be Allokernes powelli. And here we've got 2. The second one has come out from underneath that straw. I just love the way these move. They're very reactive, but they are just wonderful little invertebrates. And to think that these kind of things are in people's garden compost heaps, or maybe in an old dusty corner of a shed. All sorts of habitats usually has a false scorpion in it somewhere, and it's great that we now have Powerlie on the Nottinghamshire list. This is a day of quite remarkable coincidence. In fact, a stunning coincidence. I'll tell you why in a minute. Parliament B&Q at Worksop just got out of the car, and just against this curbstone there are large trails of a black ant. Look familiar? Well, it should do, because I think these are Tapinoma. With birds like the nightjar and woodcock too, but most especially nightjar. Sherwood Forest is a magical place on a night time, and this sound is something that everybody should witness. Isn't that an absolute picture? One of the things about moth trapping is it's not always the moth trapping bit itself. It's things that make up that night, the going out and then going home. When you're coming out and you've got a sky and a sunset like this and a beautiful location on a beautiful, perfect summer's evening, you realise why you make the effort to come out and trap moths. Head on with the Emperor. The Emperor of the forest. 2 male purple emperors, now free to fly. This has been so rewarding for me. It really has. It's been successful too. What a thing.